The woman had just been reborn. She quickly hid her young daughter behind the sofa, then hurriedly dialed the police, saying there was a crazed murderer at her doorstep. But this murderer wasn't a stranger. It was her own husband. In her past life, the woman remarried this man, hoping to give her daughter a complete family. But after the wedding, her husband's true nature was revealed. Not only was he short-tempered, he also frequently beat both her and her daughter. With no other choice, she took her daughter and hid in the villa left by her parents. But she never expected her shameless husband to brutally kill them inside the villa, just to take it for himself. As she died filled with regret and unwillingness, she closed her eyes, and when she opened them again, she had returned to a day before everything happened. Looking at her trembling daughter, the woman swore that this time, she would protect her at all costs. Just as she finished calling the police, her husband arrived at the villa's entrance. The enforcement team would take 30 minutes to get there. In desperation, she called the property management for help instead, but the manager claimed she was mentally ill and stopped his colleagues from going to help. Luckily, the villa had been specially reinforced. As long as she and her daughter stayed inside, they would be safe for the time being. Her husband outside didn't seem in a hurry, because he knew she had asthma. If she got too scared, her old illness would flare up. He kept threatening her from outside, trying to trigger an asthma attack. But what he didn't know was that she had already ordered medicine through delivery. When her daughter checked her phone, she saw that the delivery guy had arrived at the gate. The woman immediately called him, telling him not to use the front entrance, because there was a murderer outside. The delivery guy promised that he would bring the medicine through the side door instead. But before he could act, the man outside lost his patience and started hacking at the door with an axe. Bang bang bang. The terrifying sound echoed through the house. The mother and daughter clung to each other, trembling, feeling like the door would be broken down any second. Desperate, the woman called the property management again, asking why they still hadn't come, but they made up an excuse, saying that the person outside was her husband, so they wouldn't interfere in family disputes, and told her to stop calling before hanging up. Frustrated, the woman called again, this time warning them that she had already reported everything to the inspection team, and they were on their way. If anything happened to her and her daughter, the property management wouldn't be able to escape responsibility either. Hearing this, the female property manager panicked. If the inspection team arrived before they could take the villa, things would get complicated. To end this quickly, she decided to go in person. She assured the woman that she would be there right away. Moments later, she arrived at the door alone. To lower the woman's guard, she put on an act with the man outside. She loudly scolded him, telling him to leave immediately, or she would call the police. The man pretended to refuse at first, but after another threat from the manager, he stepped aside and hid nearby. Then the female property manager spoke to the woman, saying that the danger was gone, and she just wanted to check on her and her daughter. She even offered to hand over the medicine at the door. Just as the woman was about to open the door, her phone suddenly rang. It was the delivery guy. He told her that he hadn't delivered the medicine yet. The woman froze. That meant the property manager and her husband were working together. Terrified, she peeked through the peephole and saw the axe hidden in the corner. Her heart pounded in fear. She quickly dialed the police again, realizing that their plan had been exposed. The property